It's time for Rams baseball, everyone. We go out to Riverside Park with Kevin Holden and Bill Dolan.
Scott Chapman, and ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. Welcome to 1995 baseball. Yes, we're all a little disoriented with the baseball strike in the major leagues, and with 2 days of rain. The Rams opening game has been delayed a couple of days, but here we are, ready to kick it off. The Newton Rams against the Stockbridge Tigers. Kevin Holden and Bill Dolan, your broadcast crew for today's game and for most of the 95 season. And Bill, the best thing about today is it's just good to see baseball again.
Absolutely. There's some sun peeking through the clouds after these 3 days of rain. We're going to get some baseball in. I've been waiting for this since the end of last year. Like you say, we get to see baseball at a level where there is a good intensity and people get out there and play for the love of the game and really go at it.
And this game, having been delayed now twice by rain, Newton and Stockbridge were set to play Tuesday at 5, but Mother Nature said no for the last few days, so that will probably have some effect on the players. They may have some first-game jitters also. The field appears to be in very good shape, but there are some wet spots still out there.
Absolutely. The ground crew, as always, has done a fine job out here. The field does look remarkably dry. The infield in excellent shape. Like you say, a few wet spots possibly in the outfield and right around the edge of the pitching mound. I talked to a couple of the seniors before the game, and they are just ready to go. They're pumped up, particularly Sam and Brian, really ready to go out there and do it. Two of the guys you look to be leaders on this Ram team this year.
We'll tell you about them and the rest of the Newton and Stockbridge lineups right before this game begins. We'll be back. 95 Newton Ram baseball right here on WGFS AM 1430.
For the best in chiropractic care, visit Lithonia First Chiropractic. Dr. Michael Brust specializes in nerve and spine rehabilitation. Call for an appointment, 482-1114, 482-1114. Most insurance accepted, and we take care of your insurance paperwork at no charge to you. Call Lithonia First Chiropractic at 3081 Stone Mountain Street in Lithonia, 482-1114, 482-1114.
When you need insurance, here's the first thing you should do. Call your auto owner's agent. They are people just like you.
Are you age 55 or older? We've reduced the cost of auto owners' homeowners insurance 20% in Georgia. Here's why. Our statistics show mature homeowners have fewer and less costly losses. So if you're 55 or older, it's only fair to charge you less for your homeowner's insurance. For mature homeowner savings, see your no-problem auto owner's insurance agent.
Call your auto owner's agents. They are people just like you.
See Steele Jones Insurance Agency, located on Lloyd Street, Southeast in Covington. Or call 786-9213.
Auto owners, the no-problem people.
If you bury your nose in a cloud of sawdust and breathe deep, you're going to get choked up. Unless you're the new Husqvarna 36 chainsaw with air injection filtering, now available at Coast to Coast Home and Auto. Husqvarna's exclusive air injection saws run up to 20 times cleaner than any other saw on the market. With the Husky 36, you can work harder and longer without stopping for a filter change. What's more, an ergonomic design means that you can last nearly as long as your Husky. An angled front grip puts you in a comfortable working position that's less prone to fatigue. And vibration is kept to a minimum by separating the handles and engine unit. At only $199.95, you can't buy a better saw for home or farm than the Husqvarna 36 with air injection. So to keep your nose clean, stop by Coast to Coast Home and Auto on the Square in Covington to see the 36 and our entire line of quality Husqvarna products.
Riverside Park, where we are a few minutes away from Newton Ram baseball. It will be the Newton Rams and Stockbridge Tigers. Many folk in attendance, some former Newton players in attendance that are here just taking some swings in the cages as they prepare to go back, as professional baseball will be starting back up in a couple of weeks. But right now the concentration on the Newton High School Rams, who are being introduced and are taking their positions down the third base line. Your lineups for today's game, we will start with the Stockbridge Tigers. They'll lead it off with Scott Kelly, who will play center field. Brandon Dow in left field will bat second. Chad Sanders, the shortstop, will hit third. And the cleanup batter, the pitcher, Jody Edmondson. Jeremy Ross will catch and bat fifth. Randy Gaines, the first baseman, hits sixth. Jamie Terry in right field will be batting seventh. Rod May at third base hits eighth. Brent Palma at second base rounds out your Stockbridge Tigers lineup.
And for the Newton Rams, leading off and playing second base, Ryan Allen. In the second slot and catching, Brian Moon. Hitting third and playing left field, Luke Allen. Your cleanup hitter, third baseman, Sam Allen. And playing right field, Richie Cleary. In the first base slot, Joseph Poole, batting sixth. And in the seventh slot, designated hitter, Brent Johnson, batting for Robbie Sanfilippo, who will be playing center field. And in the eighth slot, Lance Cawthon, the pitcher, and batting ninth, Matt Easterday at shortstop.
And that, ladies and gentlemen, the lineup for the first game of 1995 for your Newton Rams. And Bill, a lot of familiar faces in that lineup.
Absolutely, we got a lot of return players. I think it's time for the national anthem.
It most certainly is. Riverside Park is reminiscent, just a little of winter, but also a little of spring, and spring, of course, means baseball. Back with the Newton Rams' debut of the 1995 season right after this on WGFS, AM 1430.
It's the Best Buys of March going on now at Mayfield Ace Hardware on the Square and in Newton Plaza. Ace white leather palm gloves made of durable white cotton canvas available in small or large, $197 a pair. An 18-inch garage sweep from the National Brush Company, $588. Ace 5-star flat latex wall paint, $7.97 a gallon, and an Ace 8.5-inch clamp lamp, just $3.33. It's the Best Buys of March going on now at Mayfield Ace Hardware on the Square and in Newton Plaza.
Hey, Carl, the greenskeeper here for the Hard Luck Cafe. You know, that's that little red building down by Nationwise. After a hard day hunting varmints on the golf course, I love to stop by and get some hot wings from the Hard Luck Cafe. They've got them all the way from that extra mile up to my favorite, TNT. It's a real Cinderella story how Randy has become king of the wings. So stop by and see Randy or call him at 787-0421. When you do, tell him Carl sent you and maybe he'll give me a free wing or something. Remember, that's 787-0421.
And welcome back to Riverside Park, 1995 Newton Ram baseball, ready to get underway. And here with the play-by-play, the voice of the Rams, Kevin Holden.
Thank you very much, Bill Dolan. Stockbridge will send up in the top half of inning number 1, Scott Kelly, Brandon Dow, and Chad Sanders. We'll run down your defense for the Newton Rams, and Bill will tell you about that.
At first base, Joseph Poole. Second base, Ryan Allen. Your shortstop is Matt Easterday. At third base, Sam Allen. Around the outfield, left to right, Luke Allen, Robbie Sanfilippo, and Richie Cleary. Behind the plate, Brian Moondog Moon. And on the hill, senior Lance Cawthon.
Cawthon last year, 6-3, with the best ERA among the Newton Ram regular starters at 2.11. In 56 innings, he gave up 55 hits. He walked 25 batters and struck out 68. He allowed only 4 homers. And, Bill, one of the big things this year for the Rams, if they are going to be a successful team, is to have the deep pitching like they had last year.
Of course, at the beginning of last year, we didn't think that they had the deep pitching staff, and it kind of surfaced, especially with the addition of Judd Hall last year. Let's kind of hope we can pull a sneaker out of there somewhere this year that'll really build up the pitching staff and give them the deep that we're looking for.
This game is part of the South Metro Tournament, and yes, folks, the Newton Rams have been mildly successful, winning the last 3 in a row. of those South Metro tournaments. Last year, in Game 1 of the season, Newton County played against Loganville. 14-0. The game was called after 5 innings because of the 10-run rule. Rams had 14 runs on 10 hits in their first game of the season. So the Rams are a team that is used to coming out strong. Hopefully they'll do that here. They're going to have to set down the top 3 in the Stockbridge lineup here to start the season. Scott Kelly, a right-handed batter, and the Stockbridge Tiger center fielder digging in. And the first pitch of 1995 is swung on and missed, 0-1.
And Lance Cawthon coming with the old number 1 through the heater right by him there. Good-looking pitch to start the season with.
Just good to see baseball at the old ballpark. The wind, the 0-1 pitch. Catching the outside corner with the fastball, it's 0-2.
And Lance appears to be fairly sharp so far. He's nibbling away. Good pitch on the outside corner. And let's see if he can get the K here.
Moon gives the sign in the 0-2 on the way to Scott Kelly. Did he check his swing at the inside pitch? They say he did not check his swing. That means strike 3. And on 3 pitches, Lance Cawthon retires Kelly. His first strikeout of the year and the first out of the year for Newton County.
Good, impressive start. That was a great 0-2 pitch. He kind of handcuffed him. The batter tried to hold up, wasn't able to do so. And Lance with a big strikeout to get it started.
It brings up the left fielder, Brandon Dow. Last year's Newton Ram team, 26 wins, 8 losses, and a tie. A state Final Four team. A lot of people will be watching them this year. First pitch to Brandon Dow, swung on and bounced right off home plate. It's 0-1.
Brian Moon jumping out on that just in case. He looks like he's bulked up considerably since last year. Hopefully that'll give him a little more sting in the bat, and he might be able to go deep a little bit. They're going to need some people to pick up some of the power slack. They seem to have lost a little of that last year. And you look for Brian to pick it up a little bit, and of course Sam with that big bat down there at third base.
The Rams hit 14 homers last year. Many of those were hit by seniors. People who are not seniors hit 3 homers, so there's a combined total of 3 homers from last year back. Ryan Allen hit 1 of them, and Sam Allen hit a pair. But I think Brian Moon and Richie Cleary and Sam Allen are all people to watch this year to go deep.
That's true. There is the potential there to take it out of the yard, but the Rams last year were pretty much a good punch-and-Judy type team, a gap team, too. They had a lot of doubles and triples and some good speed, and that's what they're going to need to do a lot of this year also.
The Rams nearly hit 300 as a team last year. The wind, the 0-1 pitch on the way inside with a good fastball, 1-1.
Lance appears to have pretty good velocity on that fastball today. In fact, a little more so than I remember him with last year.
The 1-1 on the way, swung on and popped up foul territory, first base side. Joseph Poole giving chase. It'll fall beyond he and the right fielder, Richie Cleary, and the second baseman, Ryan Allen. It's foul, and it's 1-2.
That was a good ways down the right field line. It kind of looked like it was going to be in no man's land as soon as it was hit. There wasn't much of a chance for anybody to get to it, especially the first baseman. That's an awkward move for him trying to turn and run directly over his head, and it was really too far for Richie Cleary to come in on or Ryan Allen to go over and get.
Something interesting happening down the right field line. Chris Jenkins for the Stockbridge Tigers is warming up in the bullpen. Now, the Stockbridge pitcher hasn't so much as thrown the first pitch, so you think Jenkins is probably just getting work in down there, but the ball was hit down his way. The 1-2 swung on and popped up into center field, where Robbie Sanfilippo is there and makes his first catch of his varsity career for out 2.
Just a routine can of corn out there. Came in, looked good on the ball, and no problems for out number 2. And we're just 1 out away from coming in and seeing if we can put some runs on the board.
Can't wait to see the Newton Ram offense. It will be one of the better offenses you'll see from anyone this year. And we're not just saying that because we're from this area. We saw a lot of potential out of this offense last year, and they brought a lot of people back. Chad Sanders steps in and takes the first pitch for a strike on the outside corner. 0-1 to the Tiger shortstop.
Kind of a delayed call by the umpire there. I was waiting to see why it wasn't a strike, and then finally the right hand pumped up.
Lance Cawthon's right arm delivering the 0-1. Swung on and bounced on a few hops. Ryan Allen charges at second, fields it cleanly. His throw is in time, and Stockbridge goes down 1-2-3 here in the first. No score. We head to the bottom half of the first inning and a chance to see the Newton Rams do some hitting in 1995. You are listening to exciting Newton Ram baseball right here on WGFS AM 1430.
Today through Tuesday at Goodies, everything in the store is on sale. Everything. Like the entire stock of Palmetto sportswear for juniors and girls, now 25% off. Save on Mrs. Alfred Dunner and other famous brand coordinates, also 25% off. And Levi's Junior and Mrs. Red Tab jeans are only $29.99. Today through Tuesday only at Goodies.
Feels good. Feels true. Goodies feels like you.
For the the best in chiropractic care, visit Lithonia First Chiropractic. Dr. Michael Brust specializes in nerve and spine rehabilitation. Call for an appointment, 482-1114, 482-1114. Most insurance accepted, and we take care of your insurance paperwork at no charge to you. Call Lithonia First Chiropractic at 3081 Stone Mountain Street in Lithonia, 482-1114, 482-1114.
And welcome back to Riverside Park. A good start of the season in the top of the first as the Rams retired the Tigers 1-2-3. Now for some Rams at bats and a chance to pick up the first run of the season, Kevin Holden.
Thank you very much. Bill Dolan and the Newton Rams send their top three spots, Ryan Allen, Brian Moon, and Luke Allen, up to the plate. And the Rams are going to confuse a lot of opponents this year with all the Allens on this team. 3 of the first 4 hitters in the Ram lineup have the last name Allen. 2 are related. Luke Allen, the number 3 batter, the left fielder today, and Sam Allen, the third baseman. Totally unrelated is the second baseman, Ryan Allen, who will be batting leadoff. And lots of Allens in the Newton Ram lineup, and hopefully that means lots of runs for the Newton Rams as well.
A lot of speed up there at the top of the order there, too. Ryan took over that leadoff spot towards the end of last year with Matthew Hires dropping down to the number 2 spot and did a fine job as a leadoff hitter. I think to be a really totally successful one, he needs to be maybe a little more discriminatory on the balls and strikes and not go up there hacking away so much. Maybe take an additional walk or 2. I don't think he walked a tremendous amount of times last year. But as a leadoff hitter, if he can take a few more base on balls and get in there and run, that should lead to some more runs for the Rams.
Allen has the perfect build for a leadoff batter. Little scrappy second baseman batting from the left-hand side. Takes the first one for a strike on the outside corner after about a 3-second wait. We got the call from the ump. It's 0-1. Quickly running down your Stockbridge defense. Rod May plays third. Chad Sanders at short. Brent Palma at second. Randy Gaines at first. The 0-1 pitch swung on and fouled back to the screen. 0-2. Jeremy Ross, your catcher. Jody Edmondson on the mound. And around the outfield, Brandon Dow is in left field. Scott Kelly in center, and Jamie Terry is in right. Ryan Allen in a hole here, 0-2. Ross delivers the sign, and Edmondson deals. Outside, 1-2. We're going to have to learn to wait a few seconds for that call behind home plate this afternoon, Bill.
The catcher, Jeremy Ross, jumped up like he was going to throw down to third. That ball looked 6 inches outside to me. I didn't even think it was close.
It's okay to try to influence that ump's opinion sometimes. The 1-2 on the way, swung on and bounced foul by a few feet down the third base side, where Rod May fields the ball backhanded. A nice grab, but in foul territory. Still 1-2 to the Rams' second sacker. Ryan Allen, a .310 hitter last year with a home run, 19 RBIs. His on-base average, .496. That's an encouraging sign for somebody who is going to be batting leadoff for the majority of this year.
He took that last one off the fist, had to shake it off. Looked like it stung his hands quite a bit there, but let's see what he does now in the hole.
Edmondson into the wind, and he deals. Swung on and missed. Edmondson came at him with the high, hard heat. And Allen is out for number 1 in the inning. It's a strikeout.
That pitch was right up about the letters where it looks so good, but as we always say, it's so hard to get around on. Unless you've just got a super fast bat, it's going to be hard to hit that one up high like that.
The number 2 batter in the order, Brian Moon, a switch hitter. Turning around, batting from the left-hand side, a .255 hitter last year. He went through a few slumps, but here is a man who is going to be hitting quite a bit better in his senior year. The first pitch to him is high and tight, ball 1. .255 last year for the Moondog. No homers, 16 RBIs. But later in the year, he showed good hitting skills and especially great bunting skills. Edmondson winds. His 1-0 on the way. Inside, 2-0. Make it strike 1 on the outside corner. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Once again, you better wait before you call the ball or a strike. But as far as Brian Moon's bunting skills, he bunts probably as well as any high school player I've ever seen. He just has phenomenal talent from either side of the plate.
The 1-1 to Moon. Another strike, this one on the inside corner, just below the armpits, 1-2. A ball and 2 strikes to Brian Moon. No score. We're in the bottom half of the first inning. Newton Ram debut in baseball for 1995 as they take on the Stockbridge Tigers here at Riverside Park. Come on out if you get a chance here and watch your Rams in action. 1-2, swung on and popped up into shallow left center. Could be trouble. Left fielder gives chase, comes in and makes the play. Brandon Dow had a long way to run for out 2.
He did have it looked like that was going to drop in there for one of those Texas leaguers, but Brandon Dow put the speed on and came on and did make a rather easy catch once he finally got to it.
And now coming up to the plate, yet another left-handed batter. This seems to be something the Rams have been very good at the last few years, having lots of lefties in the order. Luke Allen playing left field today. Allen last year hit 143 in 7 at-bats. Swings at the first one, fouls it down the first baseline, 0-1. Luke Allen will be used as a left fielder, probably some as a shortstop, and you'll probably see him on the mound as well. He is a junior and will be right at the heart of this Newton Ram batting order for the next few years. He digs back in as Jody Edmondson winds and delivers the 0-1 pitch. Allen swings and misses at a low inside pitch, 0-2.
Kind of went fishing there. I think he was fooled a little bit, looking more for that fastball that Edmondson has, and that was a little off-speed pitch that was down low, almost in the dirt, and before he could put the brakes on the swing, it was too late.
Stockbridge Tiger pitcher steps off the rubber. He had Ryan Allen in a hole, the very first batter of this inning, and threw some high, hard heat. And the 0-2 is also a fastball to Luke Allen. He swings and fouls it behind the screen and stays alive.
That one went back about where your car is, I think, Kevin.
Don't tell me that, please. I've had enough troubles with it already. Down the third baseline, Joe Brassfield, the new head coach of the Newton High School Rams. The wind, the 0-2 delivery on the way, low and inside. Allen had to skip the rope. Makes it a ball, 2 strikes.
And I guess that's Derek Coggins, the assistant coach down at first base.
That's exactly right. Derek Coggins is helping out for the first time this year. Both of these coaches, Coach Brassfield and Coach Coggins, were involved with the football team who put together a fine 7-3 campaign this year. 1-2 pitch, swung on and bounced over by the Stockbridge dugout. Count remains at ball and 2 strikes to the junior left fielder from Newton High School, who you will be hearing quite a bit about here next year, this year and also next year.
Luke doing a good job of battling, trying to stay alive, just getting a piece of some tough pitches there.
Jeremy Ross setting up inside. The Stockbridge pitcher winds and delivers. Called strike 3, somewhere around the inside corner. We're not exactly sure, but it's strike 3. And the Rams go down 1-2-3. Folks, if you're hitting for Stockbridge or Newton today, come up hacking. It's a big strike zone. We'll be back after this on WGFS AM 1430.
We have reports of a traffic problem in Covington. We're going to go to Kevin Holden in the traffic copter with a report. Kevin.
Well, Todd, there appears to be a big traffic jam in the 7100 block of Highway 278. I think it's around a business area. Yes, I believe that's East Metro Communications. What's going on here?
Kevin, I've just been handed something that should help us figure this out. Thanks. Thanks, Todd. This says Covington's oldest cellular agent, East Metro Communications, is running a special through March 11th. You can save $50 when you activate a phone with East Metro Communications. Also, Kevin, it says phones are as low as free.
Did you say $50 off activation? Phones as low as free? That's it. I'm going down for a closer look.
Kevin, don't do that. Kevin, no. No, Kevin, no. Kevin.
East Metro Communications, 7115 Highway 278 in Covington, 786-6796. Covington's authorized agent for AirTouch Cellular. Individuals must meet certain credit requirements to be eligible for these plans.
And welcome back to Riverside Park, 1995 Newton Ram baseball. And here with the play-by-play, the voice of the Rams, the one and only Kevin Holden.
Thank you very much, Bill Dolan. And before we begin the second inning, we want to thank a couple of businesses who have bought some space in the Newton High School baseball program. And the folks from the Dugout Club want to thank Cleary Exterminating Company and also Rollin' Wheel Skating Arena. Thanks to both of those for helping out Newton High School baseball in 1995. Joey Edmondson, Jeremy Ross, and Randy Gaines, the middle third of the order here for Stockbridge in the second. No score. Lance Coffin's first pitch swung on and hit right back up the box. Ranging to his left is Easterday. His throw to first. Joseph Poole coming off the first base bag. Edmondson is safe. Poole was protesting that he kept his foot on the bag. He has got a big frame. He's about 6'4", 6'5". But it was a close one as the throw was down the right field line.
Pretty good stretch by Joseph Poole. It looked to me like he might have stayed on there. I guess we'll have to call that an error on the throw because a good throw would have gotten him.
So Matt Easterday making one of his first appearances at the varsity level. Last year he had one at bat. He did score 3 runs. Charlie Beverly used him mostly as a pinch runner. But he will be almost every day in that starting lineup for Newton High School. Jeremy Ross, the catcher, bats from the right side. Stretch hand pitch to him, swung on and popped up foul down the right side and out of play, 0-1.
Almost picked off somebody down there in the bullpen that side. They didn't see it coming, landed about a foot away from him. Matt Easterday exhibited good range on that ball. He got to it in good shape up the middle, and the throw wasn't that bad, but it did just slightly pull Joseph Poole off the bag.
Ryan Moon gives the sign as the runner leads away from first. The pitch checked his swing, but bounced it back toward the mound. Coughlin will field. His only play will be to first. So moving over to second on the unintentional sacrifice is Edmondson. Jeremy Ross had that ball come in and hit the bat, as opposed to what he would normally expect, vice versa. Came in and almost hit his shoulder and hit the edge of the bat, and Coughlin fielded it cleanly for the out.
Would have been tough to lay down any better of a sacrifice bunt had he been attempted to do so. I like one thing I saw there, Brian Moon taking charge and telling Lance exactly where to throw the ball. Left no doubt about it.
Randy Gaines steps into the batter's box and takes the first one, low and outside for ball one. So far from Stockbridge, I believe we've seen 6 right-handed batters, where from Newton we've seen nothing but lefties. Edmondson leads away from second. Coughlin looks at him for a moment and deals. Swung on and popped foul out beyond the first base side and out of play, 1-1.
Once again, they're really not getting around well on Lance Coughlin's fastball. That's all the foul balls have been hit down the right side, and the only ball hit to the left side was the one more up the middle, so nothing's been pulled at all. So he has got some pretty good velocity on that fastball. They're having a lot of trouble getting around on it. If he can keep that up with a good unit, I think he'll be quite successful today.
So far, it appears the pitchers are ahead of the hitters. Maybe that was the 2-day delay in this game getting started, or perhaps it's just that the pitchers have had more time to work. But so far, for both sides, it appears the pitchers are a tad more advanced. Gaines digs back in, stands fairly close to the plate. Coughlin's delivery is outside, ball 2.
Almost looked like a knuckleball there, the way that came up there. Did Lance experiment with a knuckleball? Do you know? It had all the looks of one there.
We'll have to check on that. It did kind of float up there. The 2-1 on the way to the Stockbridge first baseman. Line right at second. Ryan Allen makes the play for the out and flips to Easterday. Double play. That ball was hit right on the nose. And Joey Edmondson broke toward third base, but call it a 4-6 double play. Those of you who were scoring, and Stockbridge is down. No runs, no hits, no errors, and no one left on base. And after an inning and a half, no score from Riverside Park. You are listening to the debut of 1995 Newton Ram baseball here on WGFS AM 1430.
It's the Best Buys of March going on now at Mayfield Ace Hardware on the Square and in Newton Plaza. A Keller 6-foot aluminum stepladder, only $25.88. An ever-ready floating lantern, $3.99. Quick-set entry lock or deadbolt, just $7.97 each. And Enforcer drain care, $4.88. It's the Best Buys of March going on now at Mayfield Ace Hardware on the Square and in Newton Plaza.
Charles Evans Nissan refuses to be undersold. We will meet or beat any advertised price on any in-stock unit. If you are tired of high pressure and the runaround, come to Charles Evans Nissan in Conyers. We put the fun back into buying a car. Charles Evans Nissan is located at 1420 Irish Drive in Conyers, 922-7600. Remember, Charles Evans...
The president there. You, of course, have heard Lance pitch a very successful first few innings. That's Jay's son right there. And then also Newton Ram Dugout Club would also like to thank Mobile Chemical Company of Covington for helping out in supporting Newton Ram baseball in 1995. Sam Allen leads it off and looks at the first one outside for ball 1. It'll be Sam Allen, Richie Cleary, and Joseph Poole for the Rams here in the second inning. No score from Riverside Park at Newton High School. Edmondson winds and deals, low and outside, 2-0.
And Sam Allen, of course, not exhibiting any superstition, wearing that number 13. A lot of baseball players won't wear that number.
I wonder how dirty that uniform will be when this game is over with.
I'd bet it will be a little bit at least.
Or how many skid marks will be left on the base paths. The 2-0, taken low, 3 balls, no strikes. Sam Allen last year a .396 hitter, 2 homers, 36 RBIs, and heated up in the playoffs as hot as any hitter I think I've seen at the high school level in the playoffs. He was on fire.
Really owned that left center field gap. Everything he hit was just sweet into the left center field gap.
3-0 on the way, taking all the way, and it's a strike on the outside corner, 3-1. And also, down that left field side is a sign commemorating WGFS AM 1430. And we thank the folks at the Newton Dugout Club for having that put up there. 3-1 pitch, high, ball 4. Newton High School has its first base runner of 1995 in the person of Sam Allen. who stole 2 bases last year, but was not caught stealing, and would probably tell you that if you mentioned it.
Absolutely. And we may get a chance, if one of the Rams can move them along, to see one of those infamous skid marks out there around the base paths. We actually measured a few of them last year, and we recorded them, so we were going to try and see if he can break new records this year.
Right fielder Richie Cleary rips the first offering to him into left field for a base hit. Allen will stop at second. Cleary took a pitch right up about chest level and drilled it into left field.
I don't know if that was some type of let-up or not, but Richie was all over it and just drilled it into left field. It was hit so hard that Sam had to hold up at second base, but the Rams with a bit of a rally going here. Let's see if we can get the first runs of 95.
The number 6 batter in the order, Joseph Poole, a left-handed batter, looks down at his third base coach and has the sign that he's looking for. He was a 143 hitter last year in 14 at-bats. 2 hits. He scored 4 runs. He takes the first offering high and outside for ball 1. No runs, 1 hit for the Newton Rams in this game. Stockbridge has been shut out and has as many hits as they do runs. Pitch to Poole is high and tight, 2 balls, no strikes.
I was kind of surprised at first. I thought they may want to try and sacrifice the runners over, but probably not a bad idea to make Edmondson throw some strikes here, because he did walk Sam Allen on 4 pitches, and then the very first pitch to Richie Cleary was just drilled, and now he's ahead in the count here. So hopefully get a big inning going here.
Brassfield senses that there may be some troubles out there for Mr. Edmondson. His pitch is swung on and missed. Jeremy Ross had called time and gone out and talked to Edmondson right after that last pitch, and Edmondson came back with low heat, so Ross apparently calmed him down. It's 2-1. Sam Allen and Richie Cleary, your base runners. And the 2-1 pitch is low. 3 balls and a strike to Joseph Poole. On deck is Brent Johnson, the DH. He's batting for Robbie Sanfilippo, making his first varsity start and playing center field.
Kind of a surprise here seeing the second baseman bird dogging Sam Allen down there at second with a left-handed hitter up.
The 3-1 on the way. It is a called strike. Low and on the outside corner. Count runs full, 3-2.
And once again, I believe Edmondson was the beneficiary of the large strike zone. Do you start the runners?
Brassfield does not on the pitch. Is swung on and drilled into center field. Center fielder comes across and makes a great catch. Sliding and diving. Coming into third base is Sam Allen. The other runner had to hold at first base. That one was hit on a line into center field. It looked as if Scott Kelly had trouble picking the ball up. Slid and sort of dove after it as he made the catch. Allen was alert enough to tag up, and he's now at third, so runners at the corners with 1 out.
There was a good play by Sam. I guess he determined almost immediately that the ball was going to be caught and decided to go ahead and tag and go over to third. So now anything out of the infield should bring him home and possibly a skid mark at the plate.
Brent Johnson, the DH, is up. 283 hitter last year. No homers, 6 RBIs. He takes the first one on the outside corner or somewhere near it for a strike, 0-1. Rams have sent 6 men to the plate in this game. 2 strikeouts, couple of fly balls. Also a walk on 4 pitches. And a first pitch single from Richie Cleary. There's a swing and a pop fly foul down the right side, 0-2.
Rams appear to be getting a lot better cuts this inning off of Edmondson. The first inning, they were a little behind and a little off it, but everyone seems to be making pretty good contact on it. That ball Joseph Poole hit was just drilled. It was a shot. And the lights have come on here at Riverside Park, as it is starting to get a little on the dark side.
The wind, the 0-2. Strike 3. We don't know if he went around checking his swing. I would hope so. The pitch appeared to be a good foot or foot and a half outside. And Johnson is showing this very adamantly to his head coach, who is down at the third base line, who was also quite stunned by the call. That's out number 2.
It certainly did appear to be a bit outside, and I would not think that he went around. It certainly appeared that he did get the swing checked.
Coughlin will be the hitter, a 139 batter last year. Runners going on the first pitch. The throw is over the second baseman's head and into center. Coming in to score is Sam Allen. That's the first run of 1995, and he got to do it standing up, so he'll get the uni dirty next time he's up at the plate. We'll call that an error on the catcher. Richie Cleary down now at second base, and Allen home.
Kind of a surprise that he went ahead and launched that one into center field like that. With 2 outs and the pitcher up to the plate, you would think they'd maybe go ahead and give that runner second base on the play, but instead something that helped the Rams there.
The stretch and the 1-0 called strike on the outside part, 1-1. If you're Jody Edmondson or if you're Lance Cawthon, you definitely want to keep the ball near or around the outside corner of the plate because the umpire is giving a little extra off the black on that outside part. The 1-1 on the way. Cawthon checked his swing. Throw is going to go down to first base. The scoreboard had read that it was 1-1 coming in, but apparently that was strike 3, so the count was 1-2 prior to that. Cawthon strikes out. He's retired 2-3 on the putout, but the Rams put across a run on one hit. One Stockbridge error and one man left on base, and after 2 innings of play, your Newton Rams are on top 1-0. Newton Ram baseball right here on WGFS AM 1430.
When you need insurance, here's the first thing you should do. Call your auto owner's agent. They are people just like you.
Take the worry out of insurance claims with Auto Owners Insurance. Ranked as one of the top companies in the United States for claim service by a national consumer magazine, you'll enjoy a quick and fair settlement of your personal or business loss. In fact, we're known as the no-problem people because service is our claim to fame. See your Auto Owners Insurance agent today.
Call your auto owner's agent. They are people just like you.
See Steele Jones Insurance Agency, located on Floyd Street Southeast in Covington. Or call 786-9213.
Auto owners, the no problem people.
And we're back at Riverside Park. The lights are on. Baseball's underway. The Rams with a 1-0 lead. And here to try and hold it, Kevin Holden.
And Stockbridge will send up spots 7, 8, and 9 in their order. Jamie Terry, Rod May, and Brent Palma to go up against Lance Cawthon, who has faced the minimum so far in 2 innings here. He struck out a man. He's induced a couple of ground balls, had a good double play on a hard line drive that was right at Ryan Allen. Also a man, the cleanup batter for Stockbridge, Jody Edmondson, reached on an error but was picked off as part of that double play. Jamie Terry also bats from the right-hand side. Has a closed stance with that body and front hip pointing toward right center. Swings at a pitch and fouls it right back this way, and just behind us and to our right, we thought we might have a chance at a foul ball. It's 0-1. I think in a couple of years here, I still have never seen one that's been in perfect position, but before it's over with, I'd like to make a catch right here in our vantage point, which is right behind home plate in Coach Joe Brassfield's office. There's a swing and a ground ball to Ryan Allen, who takes it cleanly. The slick fielding second baseman goes to first for the first out.
And Ryan came in just enough, got the perfect hop, came up, made the good throw. And as I say, a good infielder makes his own hops. He played that ball right. The ball came up nice. Sometimes when you lay back on the ball, it eats you up, or if you charge it too hard, he charges it just right. As you called him, a slick fielding second baseman he is. He also plays a pretty good shortstop when they need him to.
And they probably will need him to do that some this year, as some of the people who play in the middle infield may be doing some pitching or playing other positions. So look for Allen to play both positions up the middle this year. Rod May, the first lefty we've seen from Stockbridge, takes the first pitch high and outside, 1-0. May, the third baseman for the Stockbridge Tigers. Rams lead this one by a run. We're in the top of the third. Jeremy Ross flashes the sign. Make that Brian Moon flashing the sign, and Lance Cawthon delivering high, 2-0.
Looks like he's a little bit uncomfortable right now. He's straining a little bit, tried to overthrow that one, and the ball sailing high on him.
May digs back in, the 2-0 on the way to him. It is outside, 3-0. We've got to say something about the new uniforms that the Newton Rams have here for their home games. Brand new, and their first time using it in a game situation. Very nice-looking new uniforms. The wind, the 3-0 pitch, high with the fastball. And so on 4 pitches, Rod May will become the second Stockbridge base runner of the night.
Now in the first couple innings, Lance appeared to be relaxed and throwing easy, and looks right now like he's trying to overthrow the ball and force it, and every pitch is up high now. And that's one part of the strike zone that the umpire's not giving.
He is, however, giving a lot on the outside part of the plate, where Cawthon will need to come back here against Brent Palma, who bats from the right side, and the first pitch is inside for ball 1. Cawthon asks for a new baseball and receives it from the home plate umpire. This is part of the South Metro Tournament, this game between the Newton Rams and Stockbridge Tigers. South Metro Tournament has 4 sites and 4 or 5 teams, I believe 5 in each bracket. Henry County is the host site for the Newton Ram bracket this year. The last several years, Newton has been a site for the South Metro Tournament, but all future South Metro games are going to be played down at the Henry County field, and of course WGFS will be there for each of those games. May leads away. Coffin stretches and delivers. It's popped up high to left field. Luke Allen is giving chase. He's into foul territory and makes the play right up against the fence. A good heads-up play from Luke Allen, avoiding the fence, avoiding that crash, yet still making the play for the second out.
Good running catch by Luke out there. He came a long ways, but still had the sense of mind to know where he was and didn't go crashing into that chain link fence out there. Good speed on getting to that ball.
Speed is something that Coach Brassfield said he was a little concerned about at the beginning of the year, but he's brought a couple of folks out who have quite a bit of speed, so the speed question has definitely been solved for this year for Newton High School. First pitch right down the pipe for a strike to the leadoff batter, Scott Kelly. The Tiger center fielder struck out in the first.
I guess the biggest question still for this team is going to be the depth of the pitching staff.
As was the same question last year, but a few people stepped up, and as Cotham throws over to first base, if the Rams can have another Matt Taylor to step up and do the job like Matt Taylor did last year, they could be in as good a position as they were last year, which was a state Final Four team.
Hard to do a whole lot better than that. Just about 2 positions more, I guess they could have done, but
the 0-1 on the way. It's inside. Kelly had to duck under the pitch, 1-1. But the Rams making it to that state Final Four for the first time since 1990. They've had a very good tradition of success here, but the 94 season might have been the best of all. It was certainly the most exciting season. The Rams seemed to be the kings of the comeback during last year, especially when it came to state playoff time. Coffin is to the belt. The 1-1 swung on and fouled down the right side, 1-2.
Makes you think that the Tigers might have a pretty good report on Brian Moon behind the plate. They have not shown any tendency to want to run. And, of course, Brian with that shotgun back there gunned out a real good percentage of the runners last year.
The stretch from Lance Coffin, his 1-2 with the runner going, is swung on and popped foul just off to our left behind the screen. It remains 1-2. To give you an idea of the disparity between the speed of the Newton Rams last year and the speed of their opponents, the Rams stole 85 bases. Their opponents stole 27. The Rams were caught 14 times where their opponents were caught 19 times. That's a tribute to 2 things. Number 1, speed on the Rams team, but number 2, the arm of the Newton Ram catchers. And Moon was back there 75% of the time or more, and his arm is better this year. He's been building it up since last offseason.
Absolutely. And that's a key when you can keep the other team from running, because as so many times last year, the Rams would get the runner on, steal the base, and get an inning going by manufacturing runs, similar to the old 85-87 Cardinals.
The 1-2 pitch is on the way, and it is a strike 3 on the outside corner. The umpire got some help from Brian Moon, who had taken 6 steps to the dugout before the umpire made the call, but it's strike 3, and Lance Coffin has struck the leadoff hitter out twice now in this game. Those are his 2 strikeouts. For Stockbridge in the inning, no runs, no hits. There was a walk, and that runner was left on base, and after 2.5, it is the Newton Rams 1 and the Stockbridge Tigers nothing. Newton Ram baseball, 1995 Newton baseball, here on WGFS AM 1430.
Hey, Carl, the greenskeeper here for the Hard Luck Cafe. You know, that's that little red building down by Nationwise. After a hard day hunting varmints on the golf course, I love to stop by and get some hot wings from the Hard Luck Cafe. They've got them all the way from that extra mile up to my favorite, TNT. It's a real Cinderella story how Randy has become king of the wings. So stop by and see Randy or call him at 787-0421. When you do, tell him Carl sent you and maybe he'll give me a free wing or something. Remember, that's 787-0421.
For the best in chiropractic care, visit Lithonia First Chiropractic. Dr. Michael Brust specializes in nerve and spine rehabilitation. Call for an appointment, 482-1114. 482-1114. Most insurance accepted, and we take care of your insurance paperwork at no charge to you. Call Lithonia First Chiropractic at 3081 Stone Mountain Street in Lithonia, 482-1114. 482-1114.
Welcome back to Riverside Park For all the play-by-play of Newton Rams baseball, here is the voice of the Rams, Kevin Holden.
WGFS AM 1430 with Kevin Holden and Bill Dolan and company, bringing you Newton Ram baseball. We intend to be here throughout the 1995 season, bringing you exciting play-by-play action of the Newton High School Rams, who will lead off the bottom of the third with Matt Easterday. Easterday, with his second varsity at bat of his high school career, takes the first pitch outside from Jody Edmondson. It's 1-0. Easterday had one at bat last year. Did not get a base hit in that at bat, so he's still looking for his first varsity hit, as the wind and the 1-0 to him is high. It's 2-0. Ryan Allen and Brian Moon, the top two batters in the order, will follow Easterday here in the third.
I'd like to see him get on because he does have that good speed. In fact, that's basically what he was used for last year, was a pinch running.
2-0 is popped up, foul. It'll fall out of play down the first base side, 2-1.
A lot of foul balls been going down that right field side. I guess, like you said, the hitters are just a little bit behind the pitchers so far.
The right-handed batters are fouling it down the first base side, meaning, as you said, they're not catching up with the fastball. It also means a lot of cokes for a lot of kids. The 2-1 pitch swung on and fouled down the first base side once again, where someone makes a terrific play down there. Looks like possibly a Newton JV player. It is 2-2. The concession stand downstairs has a policy that for each foul ball that's retrieved, the person who retrieves it gets a free Coke. So they'll be giving away lots of Coke here tonight. The 2-2, just missing. It's now 3-2 as it runs full to Easterday.
That was a tough pitch to lay off, especially the strike zone this umpire's been calling. You got to go up there hacking away, as you said, if it's anywhere near there.
The payoff pitch is swung on and hit hard to right field. Jamie Terry going back on it, still going back. It will bounce in fair territory and into the right field corner. Easterday will hold up at second base. It's a stand-up double. If there had been a nice wind blowing to right field, as there is usually early in the year, who knows, that might have had a chance to get out of here.
He really tagged it well, and it sliced away from the right field. It probably landed fair by about 10 feet into that right field corner. And as we talked about good speed, Matt Easterday easily into second base with a stand-up double.
Easterday, a speedy shortstop, is now in scoring position. Usually early in the season we get lots of wind, but tonight, at least in center field, the wind is not there. The flag is not moving. Ryan Allen takes the first one high and outside, 1-0. Mother Nature hasn't been kind to the Rams in the last few years. Rams had a few games snowed out in 93, several rainouts early in 94. The pitch is inside to Allen, a throw down to second base as Easterday had taken a big lead, almost escaped into center field, but Chad Sanders making a nice diving play, keeping the ball from going into center field, and Jeremy Ross, the Stockbridge Tiger catcher, has had his problems in the first game of 95.
You got to believe after Coach Brassfield's seen those couple of throws go down there, you're going to see some Rams running tonight.
The stretch, the 2-0 pitch. Allen takes it. It is inside. 3 balls, no strikes.
Matt Easterday just coming halfway to here, and between you and me off that base, he's really coming off it hard, and they're really not holding him too well.
When they do, it's the second baseman, and with a lefty up, that's an interesting situation. The 3-0 is inside to Ryan Allen. Ball 4. 4 pitches. And Ryan Allen walks, and it just goes to show how one little thing that goes wrong can unravel an inning if you're a defense. That double put Easterday out there at second, and they've been concentrating on him and throwing balls down to second base, taking the concentration away from the hitter, and just like that, another man is on. And now Brian Moon could really do some damage with a base knock.
Or as we talked earlier, you wonder if he might be up there bunting with his excellent bunting abilities.
He takes the first pitch, low and inside, ball 1. Brian Moon laid down some bunts that surprised everybody in the house during the late season and during the playoffs last year. And you can expect to see plenty of that here in 95. Edmondson is to the belt. His 1-0 pitch is inside, 2-0. You could call it the first base side of home plate. It's the outside part to righties, the inside part to lefties. And it appears the umpire gives it more to the pitcher when a righty is up there. But those pitches that are inside to lefties don't appear to be called strikes. Stretch in the 2-0 in that same place inside, ball 3.
It is kind of strange the angle he takes on getting because some of those pitches were called strikes on the right-handed batters. But he's hanging over the right shoulder with the left-handed batter up there.
And the 3-0 pitch is low, ball 4. Now 8 straight pitches and 2 straight walks, loads the bases. And Luke Allen will have a chance to prove himself here. Left-handed batter struck out looking his first time, and time is called as Stockbridge's pitching coach goes out and talks to his pitcher. In fact, that may be the end of things. That may be the end of things for Jody Edmondson, and it will be. We'll check on the new pitcher and the changes for the Stockbridge Tigers, and we will be back. It is the bottom of the third, 1-0. The Newton Rams on top. Ram baseball on WGFS AM 1430.
It's the Best Buys of March going on now at Mayfield Ace Hardware on the Square and in Newton Plaza. Ace white leather palm gloves made of durable white cotton canvas available in small or large, $197 a pair. An 18-inch garage sweep from the National Brush Company, $588. Ace 5-star flat latex wall paint, $7.97 a gallon. And an Ace 8.5-inch clamp lamp, just $333. It's the Best Buys of March going on now at Mayfield Ace Hardware on the Square and in Newton Plaza.
Charles Evans Nissan refuses to be undersold. We will meet or beat any advertised price on any in-stock unit. If you are tired of high pressure and the runaround, come to Charles Evans Nissan in Conyers. We put the fun back into buying a car. Charles Evans Nissan is located at 1420 Iris Drive in Conyers, 922-7600. Remember, Charles Evans Nissan, we won't be undersold. That's 922-7600.
And welcome back to Riverside Park. The Rams with a potential for a huge inning here. The Stockbridge Tigers have had to make a pitching change. Nobody out, and here to get some runs, hopefully a bunch of them, the voice of the Rams, Kevin Holden.
Okay, Bill Dolan, we thank you very much. Marty Jennings is the new pitcher for Stockbridge. Jody Edmondson, by our records, has moved to third base, and Rod May has come out of the game. You can put Marty Jennings in the 8th spot in the batting order. Bases loaded, nobody out for the Newton Rams here in the bottom of the third. And the 3, 4, and 5 spots in the order, you cannot ask for a better opportunity, Bill, to put runs across.
No, that's the guys you want coming up to hit. And it all started when the number 9 hitter ripped the double down the line. That got the other team all concerned. The pitcher lost whatever control he had, walking 2 more people, loading the bases, and you got the guys up there that can do the damage.
Last year in the first game of 1994, when the Rams beat Loganville 14-0, they scored 1 run in the first, but then exploded. They scored 12 runs in the second inning. And if a couple of more people can get on base and get good base hits, you can see that type of inning possibly happening here, especially since it's early and pitchers' arms won't be quite as warm. It's fairly cold out there this evening out on the field at Riverside Park. The pitch is swung on and bounced on 1 hop. Shortstop goes to second for 1. The throw to first is in time. It's a double play. Luke Allen hit the first pitch hard, but it's a 6-4-3. It does get a run home to make it 2-0 Newton County.
That's true. That's unfortunately probably about the worst way you want to try and score the run, but the infield was playing in. That was a tailor-made double play ball, 1 hop to the shortstop. They turned it in pretty good shape, and unfortunately for Luke, no RBI on the play. But it did get the run home, and at this point in time, every run is helpful as you're trying to build a lead. Now Sam the man.
Runner at third base, and Sam Allen takes a pitch for a strike. It's 0-1. That was in the same spot pretty much as those pitches to Brian Moon that were called inside for balls. The difference, Sam Allen bats from the right-hand side. Leading away from third base is Ryan Allen. Stretch and pitch. Strike called in that same spot, 0-2. Marty Jennings has come in and actually done a good job of playing to where the umpire strike zone is on the outside part to those right-handed batters. The hitters will have to adjust to the 0-2. Swung on and hit hard, but a diving stop by Chad Sanders, the shortstop. 2 hard-hit balls from the Allen brothers, but Sanders, the Stockbridge shortstop, stops them both and kills, for the most part, the Newton Ram rally. They did put 1 run across on 1 hit. No errors, 1 runner left on base, and after 3 innings, your score is the Newton Rams 2 and the Stockbridge Tigers nothing. 1995, exciting Newton Rams baseball here on WGFS, AM 1430.
If you want to save money on a great chainsaw, you want the Husqvarna 51. Because right now at Coast to Coast Home and Auto, you can pick up the powerful, reliable, and lightweight Husqvarna 51 for only $329.95. That's a savings of $70. With 3.1 cubic inches, the Husky 51 has the power to do some serious cutting. Thanks to an extra-large air intake and filter, it runs clean and cool. It weighs just over 11 pounds and features a combination choke idle for easy starting. What's more, it has one of the industry's lowest vibration ratings. It all adds up to a saw that lets you do a lot more with a lot less effort. No wonder professional loggers choose Husqvarna. So pick up your own Husqvarna, the Husky 51, and save big. It's just $329.95 at Coast to Coast Home and Auto. Call them at 786-7979 for more information, or see them on the square in downtown Covington.
And welcome back to Riverside Park, Newton Ram Baseball. And Kevin Holden, we may have a surprise later on in the season. Hopefully, if people will tune in Saturday morning, we're going to have it finalized. We'll talk about it then. It may involve possibly a chance to win some kind of prize during Ram Baseball broadcast.
That's exactly right. We refer to our Saturday morning lineup as Star-Studded Saturday. It begins with an encore and then the Saturday morning Super Trivia Spectacular. During that show, you may hear a little surprise announcement about something to do with Newton Ram Baseball this year. Just be tuned in tomorrow, Saturday, between 9 and 10. First batter of the fourth inning takes a strike. Brandon Dow, the left fielder, is in the hole 0-1. Colton threw a pitch right off the outside corner in that same spot. At least the home plate umpire is being consistent with that part of the plate. As the 0-1 is swung on and fouled off to the first base side, it is now 0-2 on Brandon Dow. Also, after the trivia show from 10 to 12, you can hear talk about Newton Ram Baseball and plenty of other sports, professional, collegiate, and otherwise, on Sports Source Weekly with myself and Todd Chapman. The wind, the 0-2, high and outside, 1-2. Then after that, Car Talk makes its debut this Saturday with Jim Burton, and after that, American Gold with Dick Bartley. So basically, a big-time Saturday lineup. The wind, the 1-2 pitch, swung on foul, tipped, but Brian Moon hung on to it. Another strikeout, the third one for Colton, and the first out here in inning number 4.
Except for this Saturday, tune in at 3 o'clock for Ram Baseball.
That's exactly right. We will be preempting American Gold because the Newton Rams and Griffin Bears will go head-to-head from Henry County High School. Colton's wind, and his first pitch to Chad Sanders is a strike, just off the outside black, 0-1.
That's the spot right now for the pitchers. To the right hand.
And the 0-2 pitch swung on, bounced over toward first base where Joseph Poole will try to feed his pitcher, but the runner is safe. They had a little trouble on the feed from first to pitcher. Colton was not there in time.
Actually, the problem there, Lance kind of watched Joseph making the play on it. He did not break immediately. Now, you still, I believe you got to give it a hit since he actually legged it out there, but Lance should have probably gotten off the mound a little quicker. He hurt himself by not really fielding his position real well.
So Joey Edmonds, the third baseman, Jody Edmondson, pardon me, the third baseman, will be the batter. He reached on an error his first time. Coughlin stretch, runner going on the first pitch. It's high. Here's your throw down to second base. It goes into center field. Sanders will stay put at second, though. Moon's throw was to the first base side of the bag and past both Ryan Allen and the shortstop, Matt Easterday.
I'll mark that as a stolen base there. That ball seemed to sail a little bit on Ryan. He had to hurry the throw because the runner had a tremendous jump on the play. I don't think a perfect throw would have gotten him there, but it did sail a little bit. Didn't appear to be that far off the bag, but neither the second baseman nor the shortstop could come up with it.
So Edmondson digs back in, and the pitch to him is a strike. It's a ball and a strike. Stockbridge has had 3 base runners, one of them on an error by the shortstop, one on a walk, and another on a disputed call that you could call an error or a base hit, and we'll see how the official score goes with that. That'll probably have something to do with whether Stockbridge picks up another hit tonight. There's a swing and a ground ball foul down the third base side, 1-2.
Well, you would hate to see that one be the cause of ending the no-no, but normally by somebody getting slow to cover the base, they usually don't give an error on that play. They will call it a hit. Unless, of course, Don Denkinger's umpiring first base or something like that.
For those of you who don't know, Don Denkinger blew a call like that in the World Series several years back. A very, very similar play. The 1-2 swung on and hit hard to center field, but Robbie Sanfilippo is right there, and he makes the play. Faking the tag at second is Sanders, but he will hold at second. 2 outs in the inning, and Jeremy Ross, the catcher, will be the last hope for Stockbridge here in the fourth. If they are to score any runs, it'll take a base hit or some way of getting on base from the Tiger catcher, Jeremy Ross.
Well, we got to see a little bit of Robbie Sanfilippo's arm there. He seems to have a pretty strong arm, although it looked like he was a little high to the cutoff man. You like to see those outfielders hitting that cutoff man, because that ball probably should have been cut instead of going on through. Sam blocked it down at third base, but the ball did get to the bag, so pretty strong throw.
Jeremy Ross checked his swing and bounced one right back to the pitcher his first time up. He takes a pitch on the inside corner for a strike. 0-1 here. The Rams scored their run in the bottom of the second inning after a walk to Sam Allen. Richie Cleary hit a clean base hit to left. Joseph Poole's fly ball to center allowed Sam Allen to touch third, and then on an error on a throw down to second base, Allen scored. Cawthon is to the belt, fakes a toss back to second, had the leg kick and went back towards second base. No one was there, and back in at second base was Chad Sanders. It remains 0-1. The Rams put another run across on a double play in the third. That makes it 2-0, Newton High School. Cawthon giving a close look to the runner. Stretch and pitch. It's a strike. The throw down to third base as the runner was going is into left field. And Sanders will come around and score. That'll make it 2-1. Sanders was toying with the Ram defense out there at second throughout that at bat. And Moon's throw to third was to the second base side and out into left field, and Moon is displeased with himself.
I believe a good throw might have probably had him on that play. So a stolen base on the play and then an error allowing the run to score. So each team scored their first run on a throwing error.
And both by opposing catchers. The 0-2 called strike three. Cawthon laid the off-speed pitch right there on the outside corner. He's almost in mid-season form here. Stockbridge picks up a run on one base hit. There was one error. No one was left on base. And after 3.5 innings of play, your score is Newton High School 2 and Stockbridge High School 1. And we will be back with more Newton Ram High School baseball right here on WGFS AM 1430.
Today through Tuesday at Goodies, everything in the store is on sale. Everything. Like Duckhead twill shorts, just $17.99 for juniors and $18.99 for men. Save on all women's and girls' regular price dresses, now 25% off. And men's Levi's Orange Tab regular or relaxed fit jeans are only $26.99. Today through Tuesday only at Goodies.
Feels good. Feels true. Goodies feels like you.
Hey, Carl, the greenskeeper here for the Hard Luck Cafe. You know, that's that little red building down by Nationwide. After a hard day hunting varmints on the golf course, I love to stop by and get some hot wings from the Hard Luck Cafe. They've got them all the way from that extra mile up to my favorite, TNT. It's a real Cinderella story how Randy has become king of the wings. So stop by and see Randy or call him at 787-0421. When you do, tell him Carl sent you and maybe he'll give me a free wing or something. Remember, that's 787-0421.
For the best in chiropractic care, visit Lithonia First Chiropractic. Dr. Michael Brust specializes in nerve and spine rehabilitation. Call for an appointment, 482-1114, 482-1114. Most insurance accepted, and we take care of your insurance paperwork at no charge to you. Call Lithonia First Chiropractic at 3081 Stone Mountain Street in Lithonia, 482-1114, 482-1114.
We are back as Richie Cleary is set to step into the batter's box for the Newton High School Rams, playing their first game of 1995. The first pitch on the way from Marty Jennings to Richie Cleary. It's going to be high and tight with an off-speed pitch for ball one. Richie Cleary, Joseph Poole, and Brent Johnson, the next three due up for the Newton High School Rams. Ram baseball on WGFS AM 1430. The 1-0 is swung on and fouled off to the first base side. 1-1, and the people who've been warming up in the bullpen, JV players and other players just wanting to get their arm loose, have had to be on the lookout because there have been lots of foul balls off right-handed bats down there.
They certainly have. They've made some nice catches down there and scurried out of the way on several others.
The 1-1 pitch swung on, fouled back to the screen. Makes it 1-2 to Richie Cleary, who singled his first time. That was the first base hit of 1995 by a Newton High School player.
And something sure smells good down from the snack bar down below, doesn't it?
That's exactly right. We may have to check that out between innings. The 1-2 pitch is in the dirt and back toward the screen. 2 balls, 2 strikes to the Newton Ram right fielder. Richie Cleary was a left fielder and at times a first baseman last year in addition to pitching. He spent 13 innings on the mound, would have spent a lot more time out there, except the Rams found a very deep starting 4. Cleary will be pitching quite a bit this year. He swings at an outside fastball. Foul tips it into the catcher's mitt. That'll be a strikeout. Number 4 in terms of the strikeouts for the Stockbridge Tigers. The first one from Marty Jennings, that's out number 1.
Richie went a little bit fishing there, but on that outside corner, you can't take a chance the way this umpire's calling it, so he really had to kind of try to drive into it and go the other way, and he just wasn't able to get around. Like you say, he did foul tip it, though.
Joseph Poole swings at the first offering. The second baseman makes a great diving play, but the ball pops out of his mitt. I think that'll be a base hit for Joseph Poole. He grounded one, pulled it toward the first base side. The second baseman, Brent Palma, made a terrific play, quite a bit of range, but once he dove after it, it popped out of the mitt, and Poole safe at first.
Kind of funny, last time up, Joseph Poole knocked the tar out of the ball, hit a frozen rope to center field and gets nothing. This time he hits a little seeing eye bleeder that almost goes through, and he gets a base hit out of it.
It'll bring up Brent Johnson, who takes the first one on the outside corner for strike one. Johnson, a strikeout victim the first time he stepped up there. That was in the second inning. Johnson, with some varsity experience last year, 46 at-bats, 283 with 6 RBIs.
He also did a little bit of pitching last year, too.
And he will be counted on to be one of the pitchers for the Rams. He pitched 6 1/3 innings last year, which is interesting because in his previous year, his sophomore year, he pitched quite a bit more than that. But there were a few pitchers who had that same problem, actually it was a good thing in some aspects because of the number of good pitchers the Rams were able to have last year. As a throw goes to first, but Poole is back in there standing up. Matt Heyer is a perfect example. 6 1/3 innings the entire year out of a person who was the Rams' designated closer the year before. Jennings is to the stretch position, and his 0-1 is outside, a ball and a strike. One of the first times tonight that a pitch on the outside part hasn't been a strike.
That one was pretty far outside. I would have been surprised had he called it. Plus, it looked a little low, too. That could have been why he called it a ball.
Runner is going on the 1-1. Johnson swung and fouled it back toward the screen. He actually may not have touched that ball because staying at second is Poole. A ball and 2 strikes to Johnson, so apparently he swung and missed at that one, and the ball just got away from the catcher. As Poole was going to second, it was a definite hit and run play.
That ball was probably 3 feet outside, and I think Brent Johnson just tried to protect the runner there. And I believe, well, you got to give the stolen base since he was breaking on the play.
The 1-2 swung on and foul tipped, another strikeout. Second in the inning and 5th in the game, and since Jennings has come in now, he's had 2 strikeouts. He looked shaky coming in at first in the 3rd inning after Jody Edmondson walked the bases loaded. Luke Allen and Sam Allen both hit ropes toward shortstop, but since then Jennings has settled down. He's retired 2 out of 3 batters. The other one hit a weak ground ball towards second that he beat out. And Lance Coffin will be the hitter. The righty takes a pitch up high for ball 1. He struck out his first time.
And he has a chance to help himself this inning as he did his first time up to bat. Maybe he can atone a little bit for that miscue and not covering first base in the previous inning.
And the 1-0 is on the way, and it's swung on and popped up into shallow center field. The shortstop Sanders is out there, and he makes the play and almost hits Brent Palma, his second baseman. But he does make the play, and that is out number 3. And in the inning, Newton picks up no runs but 1 hit. They leave a man on base. After 4 innings of play, the Rams on top, although it is a slim lead. It is 2-1, and we will be back with more Newton Ram baseball after this on WGFS AM 1430.
We have reports of a traffic problem in Covington. We're going to go to Kevin Holden in the traffic copter with a report. Kevin.
Well, Todd, there appears to be a big traffic jam in the 7100 block of Highway 278. I think it's around a business area. Yes, I believe that's East Metro Communications. What's going on here?
Kevin, I've just been handed something that should help us figure this out. Thanks. Nice talk. This says Covington's oldest cellular agent, East Metro Communications, is running a special through March 11th. You can save $50 when you activate a phone with East Metro Communications. Also, Kevin, it says phones are as low as free.
Did you say $50 off activation? Phones as low as free? That's it. I'm going down for a closer look.
Kevin, don't do that. Kevin, no. No, Kevin, no. Kevin.
East Metro Communications, 7115 Highway 278 in Covington, 786-6796. Covington's authorized agent for AirTouch Cellular. Individuals must meet certain credit requirements to be eligible for these plans.
And welcome back to Riverside Park, Newton Rams baseball. They lead 2-1. And just walking back into the broadcast booth, Kevin Holden, did you find out what smelled so good down below?
I didn't have time to, but I'm going to try to do that before the game is over. We want to thank the folks at the concession stand for providing us with drinks to keep our voices fresh during the game, but they also have some terrific smelling and terrific tasting stuff down there. So if you're ever here at Riverside Park, go by and see the folks at the concession stand. They'll hook you up with hot dogs, hamburgers, or just about anything else on that menu is excellent, so you can't go wrong if you choose something off the menu here at the concession stand. Randy Gaines will be the first batter for the Stockbridge Tigers. We're in the 5th. The Rams up by 1 run. Here's a swing and a foul back toward the screen, 0-1.
They're getting closer this year. I think I'm going to have to get a net, Kev.
I think you will. Hopefully, before it's over with, we'll get a foul ball back here. It's a personal goal of mine to have one, to catch one that was hit in an actual game, but the screen right in front of us is very, very high, so it has to be popped up real high if we're going to catch one. And the 0-1 swung on and foul tipped and off the catcher's mitt, 0-2.
And, of course, in the spirit of some of the more famous broadcasters, a net would be just the right thing, right?
That's exactly right. Randy Gaines, his first time up, lined into a 4-6 double play with a runner at second and 1 out. He swings and misses feebly at an off-speed pitch from Cawthon. And that is the first out here in the 5th inning. Another strikeout for Lance Cawthon, who appears to have the off-speed pitch working with 2 strikes.
Really changing speeds well, particularly, like you say, with 2 strikes. He is just paralyzing some of these batters with the off-speed stuff. I believe it's getting a little colder out there. I noticed as the Rams threw the ball around there, Sam gunned it into right field. I think they're starting to tighten up a little bit. Need to be careful that we don't give away another run with a bad throw.
The first pitch to Jamie Terry is a little bit low for ball 1. Terry grounded out to second his first time up a few innings ago. There have been only 4 base hits in this game, 3 from the Rams and 1 from the Stockbridge Tigers. There's a called strike on the outside corner, a ball and a strike.
And I think that 1 for Stockbridge is still in dispute. It could possibly change at a later time.
The 1-1 swung on and missed. A good pitch from Cawthon in a good location. A fastball inside and just below waist high. A very tough pitch to hit.
Good pitch, and he didn't have a clue as to how to get after it. Lance really appears to have good stuff today.
The 1-2 called strike 3. The umpire doing a little extra oomph as he punches out Jamie Terry. That pitch was right there on the inside corner. So Cawthon was using the outside part, now comes back and uses the inside part to his benefit. 2 straight strikeouts and 3 straight in the game for Cawthon.
Another good pitch there. I believe he might have been the beneficiary of a large strike zone there. That appeared to be probably a little low and inside, but once again, it's getting cold out there. The umpire is going to give that neighborhood call. So if you're coming up to bat, you better go up there swinging away.
This is Marty Jennings, who entered the game a few innings ago as a pitcher. He takes the first pitch inside, 1-0. He was bailing out as that pitch was being delivered by Lance Cawthon.
Lance still appears to have pretty good velocity on the fastball, and his off-speed stuff is excellent. Speaking thereof,
there was an off-speed pitch that came in for a strike. It was a little bit high, but dropped in for strike 1. Ball and a strike, the count to Jennings, a right-handed batter, who takes another pitch high. It's 2-1.
Tell you what I haven't seen, I don't believe, all day is a good curveball from any of the pitchers. In this cold, it's a little tougher to get the good grip and really snap one off. Lance pretty much throwing that straight change.
The 2-1 on the way, swung on and popped up high to shallow center field. San Filippo is coming in. The shortstop Easterday also there, and Ryan Allen, the second baseman, finally makes the play as it curved back toward the first base side. Stockbridge retired 1-2-3 after 4.5 innings. The Newton Rams lead at 2-1. Newton Ram baseball on WGFS, AM 1430.
Charles Evans Nissan refuses to be undersold. We will meet or beat any advertised price on any in-stock unit. If you are tired of high pressure and the runaround, come to Charles Evans Nissan in Conyers. We put the fun back into buying a car. Charles Evans Nissan is located at 1420 Iris Drive in Conyers, 922-7600. Remember, Charles Evans Nissan. We won't be undersold. That's 922-7600.
It's the Best Buys of March going on now at Mayfield Ace Hardware on the Square and in Newton Plaza. A Keller 6-foot aluminum stepladder, only $25.88. An ever-ready floating lantern, $3.99. Quick set entry lock or deadbolt, just $7.97 each. And Enforcer drain care, $4.88. It's the Best Buys of March going on now at Mayfield Ace Hardware on the Square and in Newton Plaza.
And welcome back to Riverside Park. 1995 Ram baseball on a cold, blustery season opening day, and here to try to get some more runs for the Rams, Kevin Holden.
The Rams could use a couple of runs. I think some hearts here at Riverside Park would be a little more at ease if they could pick up a few more. It's 2-1 right now, the Rams on top. They start this one with the number 9 batter, Matt Easterday, who had probably the most solid hit of the game back in the third, a double into the right field corner. Easterday only a sophomore. Takes the first pitch outside, 1-0. That looked to be a curveball, but as you mentioned, in this cold weather, much tougher to throw that curveball, and that one was a few feet outside and low.
It really didn't snap or anything. It just kind of floated out that way.
The 1-0 is a fastball, swung on and hit hard towards second, but Brent Palma is there and throws on to first for out number 1. And back to the top of the order, the Rams go with Ryan Allen, a walk and a strikeout and 2 trips to the plate.
That ball almost ate up Brent Palma. Like I talked about earlier, he kind of laid back on the ball, and it took just a little bit of a hop as he was there, but he had gotten down in front of it and was able to control it and throw him out. Stayed with it and made a good play.
Ryan Allen will be expected to be one of the leaders on and off the field for this Newton Ram team. The second baseman takes one and drills it hard to left field, but foul. 0-1.
Had a good cut at that one. You'd like to see Ryan up there being aggressive and getting good cuts, but he needs to really, as that leadoff hitter, keep a good eye on that strike zone, which he is capable of doing.
The Rams' second sacker. Back in there, swings and hits one hard towards short. Sanders ranging to his left, makes the play. His throw to first gets Allen by a step. A good play from the Stockbridge shortstop. A fairly hard-hit ball, but Sanders having to make the play on the ground, coming up and making the throw in time for the second out.
Ryan got down the line real well, showing that good speed that he has. Almost beat it out. Had Sanders not made the perfect throw, I think Ryan could have beat it out. But he made a great play all the way around. It was a tough chance, moving to his left and then having to go down on it.
Switch hitter Brian Moon is 0 for 1 with a walk. The wind of the pitch on the way. Swung on and hit hard toward left field. It is going to fall foul, out of play. Brian Moon rings the bell of Marty Jennings, but it's foul, 0-1.
Absolutely. And Brian hasn't had any really good rips up there yet. I'm waiting for him to just really turn on one and drive it into right field. Maybe bounce one off the scoreboard here or something.
Ross gives the sign. Jennings' delivery is outside and low. A ball and a strike.
You know, actually, though, with this strike zone this umpire's calling, it's been kind of tough for these hitters. They really can't dig in because they've got to protect so much of the plate. And then with the cold weather and everything, it is tough being a hitter on a day like today.
Brian Moon has a nice gap between first and second. The pitch is a called strike on the inside corner, 1-2. Playing close to the line there at first base is Randy Gaines.
Yeah, if he can get anything to pull at all, he's got a lot of room because the second baseman is cheating more towards up the middle.
The wind, the 1-2 pitch on the way, swung on and missed. It was a pitch low and inside, something Brian Moon had a lot of trouble with last year, those pitches down and in. He's been working on it a lot in the offseason, but here he goes down, and that's out 3. The Rams retired in order, 1, 2, 3, and after 5 innings of play, your score is the Newton Rams 2 and the Stockbridge Tigers 1, and we will be back with more Newton Ram baseball after this on WGFS AM 1430.
When you need insurance, here's the first thing you should do. Call your auto owner's agent. They are people just like you.
I'm just starting out on my own. I know the importance of life insurance to protect obligations, like my new car loan. But is there an insurance program that I can fit into my budget?
No problem with Auto Owners 10-year level term insurance.
How will I know this is the right kind of life insurance for me?
Auto Owners 10-year level term provides low-cost level protection and can be converted to permanent insurance later.
Who can I talk to find out more about Auto Owners 10-year level term insurance?
Call your auto owner's agents. They are people just like you.
See Steele Jones Insurance Agency, located on Floyd Street Southeast in Covington. Or call 786-9213, your auto owner's agent.
Auto owners, the no problem people.
And welcome back to Riverside Park and 1995 Newton Rams baseball. And here with the play-by-play, Kevin Holden.
It is 2-1. Your Newton Rams on top of the Stockbridge Tigers. In the 6th inning, Stockbridge sends up Brent Palma, Scott Kelly, and Brandon Dow. Palma is the number 9 batter. Then afterwards, Stockbridge back at the top of the order. Lance Coughlin still out there. He's allowed 1 disputed base hit. Once again, we're waiting to see what the official scoring on that will be, and that probably will have a lot to do with what Stockbridge does here in the last few innings. But other than that, Coughlin has had a very, very good game. He has struck out 6 batters so far, walking only 1.
And a lot of the strikeouts with the off-speed stuff. He's mixing it up well, exhibiting the good fastball, and then coming in, particularly with 2 strikes, a good off-speed pitch, really throwing them off balance up at the plate.
Palma flied out to the left fielder, Luke Allen, his first time. He takes the first one on the outside part for a strike. He was showing bunt, but he pulled it back probably just to draw the defense in at the corners. It's 0-1. Luke Allen made a terrific play on that ball in the 3rd inning, nearly crashing into the fence in foul territory after making the catch. The 0-1 swung on, fouled back to the screen. It's 0-2.
And this is really a good showing by Lance Cawthon, especially going this far in the first game, getting into the 6th inning, and still having good stuff. Seems to be in midseason form already.
Brent Palma chases the 0-2 and grounds one toward third. Sam Allen's going to have a tough play, a hard throw to first, and not in time. The Newton players and fans thought that Sam Allen had thrown out Brent Palma. It was a close play at first base. Sam Allen with a good, accurate throw. But Palma is safe. You can call that a base hit, and now we can call that the second of the game for the Stockbridge Tigers.
I think that kind of clarifies whether the other one was or not. So
we would hate to see that stand in the way of a potential Newton Ram no-hitter. It won't happen in this circumstance, so now we can officially say Stockbridge has 2 hits, both of them singles, neither of which left the infield.
That's correct.
Scott Kelly is 0 for 2 with a pair of strikeouts, pops one into shallow right field. Right fielder coming on, lets it fall in front for a base hit. Stopping at second base is Brent Palma. Richie Cleary came up on that ball but let it bounce in front, and runners at first and second here with no one out.
For a minute I thought there was going to be a double play there because Palma was off and running, and I guess he might have had a little better view on it, but I thought for a minute Richie might come up and make the catch, and had he done so, it would have been an easy double play.
So the Newton Rams, by not scoring the last few innings and allowing Stockbridge to stay in this game, might be in trouble here with a runner at first and a runner at second and no one out. And Brandon Dow, the left fielder, up there. He is 0 for 2 with a strikeout and a flyout, and he was looking to bunt, but he pulled it back. It's called a strike, 0-1. Rams had a rotation play on. Joseph Poole at first base, charging hard, looking for the bunt from Dow.
Looked like Lance Cawthon was coming in trying to field the third base side, and Sam stayed back so they would have the force play at third base there.
Palma leading from second. Kelly from first. No out here in the 6th. Once again looking to bunt, and it's right up the third base line, and a good one. Cawthon's play will be to first. It's in time. It moves the runners over, however, and with one out, it'll be second and third with the 3, 4, and 5 spots due up next.
Looked like they might have had a little bit of a chance, but Brian Moon making the good call, telling Lance to go ahead and throw it to first base over to Ryan Allen covering the bag and get the sure out. Because the one thing you don't want to do is load up the bases and give a real big inning right away.
And Chad Sanders, who can call himself a 500 hitter, he is 1 for 2. So he is a 500 hitter on the season. Takes the first pitch, called strike over around the outside part somewhere, 0-1.
It was in the neighborhood.
Somewhere in the area. Brian Moon gives the signal. Runners lead away from second and third. Cawthon is coming from the windup. Is 0-1. Swung on and missed. 0-2. Cawthon threw a good pitch there, right up about letters high and outside.
Almost an impossible pitch to hit when you go out fishing for that. Kind of surprised the Rams are playing at normal depth here. I thought they may come in and try, but I guess they're trying to stay out of the big inning.
Now we'll see what Cawthon does here with the 0-2. It is just off the outside corner. It is 1-2, and a good spot to go to there on that outside part where he's been getting the calls most of the night. A ball, 2 strikes to the Stockbridge Tiger shortstop. Runners lead away, and the 1-2 pitch is on the way. Swung on, he just barely tipped the ball foul. Right behind home plate, it remains 1-2. Sanders just waving at it to stay alive.
Barely did get a piece of it once again on that outside area of the plate, probably about 3 or 4 inches off the plate, but he had to go out and get it because the umpire has been given that call.
The wind, the 1-2 on the way, outside 2-2. After Sanders is Jody Edmondson, who is 0 for 2. He did reach on an error in the second inning. The Rams clinging to the 1-run lead and in trouble here with second and third, 1 out. The senior catcher, Brian Moon, flashes the signal, and the 2-2 on the way. Swung on and hit toward first. Joseph Poole takes it, steps on the bag, and now 2 runners are standing close to third base, and Poole's going to come charging right at third base. His throw to third is not in time. And scampering back toward second base is going to be Scott Kelly. What happened there? The ground ball to Poole. He stepped on the bag, the first base bag that is, for the second out. Kelly went toward third base. He was standing on third, and the third base runner, Brent Palmer, was just a few feet away. And Poole came running right at third base, allowing Kelly to get back to second, but by the same token, making it so that there wasn't a ball thrown away.
They did probably the right thing there, although the man they probably would have really wanted to get in the rundown was the runner between second and third. But with that being the second out and a chance to get out of this without another run being scored, like you said, you don't want to run the risk of throwing the ball into the left field corner or into left field and have both runs score. And particularly right now, as it has gotten a little colder, rundowns are a little hard to effect. Coach Brassfield out there jawing with the umpire over something, not sure what that's about.
Pointing toward second and toward third. And now he is going to call a conference of all of his infielders and his pitcher and his catcher at the pitcher's mound. Joe Brassfield has a chance to speak to the umpire on the field for the first time in a Newton Ram uniform. This is his first game, and you can bet that he wants to show the Ram fans that he wants to continue their successes that they've had the last few years.
He's looking out to the umpire again. I'm still at a loss unless he's trying to think that maybe the runner passed the other one or something. Your guess is as good as mine, Kevin Holden.
Well, he is definitely in a discussion with the umpire, but it's over with, and Brassfield is all smiles and walking back toward the third base dugout. Second and third now, 2 outs. A big out as the ball hit to Joseph Poole. He steps on the bag and keeps the runners where they are. That out is huge because now any type of out keeps that potential tying run from coming across. And Jody Edmondson, the cleanup batter, is the man with a chance to do some damage for Stockbridge.
Joseph Poole was the only infielder playing in a little bit, and had he been back farther, the run probably would have scored, so it's a good thing he was in front of the base and made a good play on it.
The first pitch to Edmondson is high and outside, ball 1. Runners at second and third here for Stockbridge, the first 2 men in the inning with base hits. A sacrifice moved them over, then the ground ball to Poole makes 2 outs, but still 2 men on. There's a swing and a miss. Edmondson appeared to be bailing out and away from the pitch. And the 1-1 pitch is a called strike on the inside corner. That was a good off-speed pitch, something like you'd see with 2 strikes, but he came back with it 1-1. Now that he's shown Edmondson that pitch, you wonder what he'll do here 1-2.
I'd look for something outside, probably up high.
Maybe and probably fast.
Right.
The 1-2 pitch was inside and high and fast, and it's 2-2. 2 out of 3 ain't bad.
We're close. It's our first game, too.
Deuces Wild on the scoreboard. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. We're here in the top half of the 6th inning from Riverside Park.
I'm going to look for something off-speed here now. I think he set him up for that good off-speed pitch.
And the 2-2 was a fastball, swung on and foul-tipped. Moon hangs on to it. We'll take it any way we can get it. It was a fastball, but that is strike 3, another strikeout, and definitely the biggest of the game, as Lance Coughlin leaves 2 men stranded on base. The Rams maintain the 2-1 lead after 5.5 innings of play. Newton Ram baseball here on WGFS, AM 1430.
For the best in chiropractic care, visit Lithonia First Chiropractic. Dr. Michael Brust specializes in nerve and spine rehabilitation. Call for an appointment, 482-1114, 482-1114. Most insurance accepted, and we take care of your insurance paperwork at no charge to you. Call Lithonia First Chiropractic at 3081 Stone Mountain Street in Lithonia, 482-1114, 482-1114.
If you bury your nose in a cloud of sawdust and breathe deep, you're going to get choked up. Unless you're the new Husqvarna 36 chainsaw with air injection filtering, now available at Coast to Coast Home and Auto. Husqvarna's exclusive air injection saws run up to 20 times cleaner than any other saw on the market. With the Husky 36, you can work harder and longer without stopping for a filter change. What's more, an ergonomic design means that you can last nearly as long as your Husky. An angled front grip puts you in a comfortable working position that's less prone to fatigue, and vibration is kept to a minimum by separating the handles and engine unit. At only $199.95, you can't buy a better saw for home or farm than the Husqvarna 36 with air injection. So to keep your nose clean, stop by Coast to Coast Home and Auto on the Square in Covington to see the 36 and our entire line of quality Husqvarna products.
And welcome back to Riverside Park, the opener for the Newton Rams. We're in a tight game. The Stockbridge Tigers have just made a pitching change, and here to tell you about it, Kevin Holden.
The third pitcher of the night for Stockbridge will be Britt Leapart. Marty Jennings goes a total of 3 innings. Actually, he does go 3 innings. He faced 2 batters in the third, but managed to get 3 outs out of it. That's economy for you, ladies and gentlemen. He faced a total of 9 batters. He gave up 1 hit. It was a single. Did not walk a batter. Struck out 3. He had periods of very good pitching and then periods where he was hit very hard, and he comes out after 3 innings here. And Leapart, who wears number 42, a big, tall, stocky right-hander, comes in here to pitch the 6th inning, and he will face, from the Newton Ram order, 3, 4, and 5 spots in the order, Luke Allen, Sam Allen, and Richie Cleary.
And this is an inning where you'd like to put at least 1 and maybe 2 runs on the board for that security going into that 7th inning.
So far, the Rams in this game have only 3 hits. Last year in the first game of the season, they picked up 10 in addition to 14 runs. Wind in the first pitch is outside. A ball, no strikes. Luke Allen 0 for 2, a strikeout in the first. He struck out looking. Grounded into a 6-4-3 double play in the third. And the colder weather settles into Riverside Park. The 1-0 pitch is low, 2-0.
I know the weatherman's talking about getting down into the 30s tonight, and I think it's well on the way right now.
There is action in the Stockbridge bullpen. Jason Cranford is warming up down the right field line. The 2-0 pitch is a called strike near the outside corner, 2-1. No action in the Newton Ram bullpen, however. Lance Coughlin will be out there to seal his own fate in the top half of the 7th inning. The 2-1 pitch is high, 3 balls, 1 strike.
And some of the more vociferous Newton fans not too happy with the previous call that appeared to be a little outside from this announcer's point of view, too.
Many people here are in agreement with you. The 3-1 pitch, a called strike on the outside corner. The count runs full to Luke Allen, 3-2. Luke Allen, last year, with only 7 varsity at-bats, is moved into the number 3 spot in the order. The wind to 3-2 on the way. Allen stays alive, fouls it back to the screen. The count remains full, 3-2.
Just did get a piece of that one. Appeared to hit right off the end of the bat as he having to protect that outside part of the plate because the man in blue is definitely calling those strikes out there.
Jeremy Ross behind the plate for Stockbridge High School gives the call, and the 3-2 is hit hard towards center field, but Scott Kelly should be under it. Now has to adjust his positioning, but he makes the play. He was standing under where he thought the ball was, suddenly broke 6 steps to his right, or left from here in the press box, and he makes the play for the first out.
Really strange. It appeared he had a beat on it the whole way, and not like he lost it in the lights or anything, and then all of a sudden he was, like you say, 6 feet away from it, but he did end up making the play.
Sam Allen is 0 for 1 with a walk and 1 of the 2 runs scored for Newton High School. Wind in the first pitch to him, swung on it, foul back, and we have a chance at this one. It is just a couple of feet to our right. 0-1. Sam Allen must have a headset in the dugout.
I think the net would have got that one. We got to get a net, Kevin.
That ball was about 3 feet off to our right here. We are directly above the concession stand in Coach Joe Brassfield's office. And that ball was just a few feet off to our right. The 0-1 is a curveball that started way behind Allen, and in fact, Allen had to duck. The ball still went behind him and over his back. It's 1-1. That curveball did not snap off as Britt Leapart wanted it to. The 1-1 pitch, a fastball, swung on, grounded towards short. Sanders has it, and his throw to first is in time for the second out.
Ram bats are fairly dormant today, not really ripping the ball solidly like you like to see them do. A lot of ground balls and pop flies. A couple of balls hit solid for outs. In fact, the hardest balls that have been hit have been for outs as opposed to the base hits, which were not really slammed too well.
The only exception to that is Matt Easterday's double in the 3rd inning. Led off the 3rd inning by hitting that hard drive to right field. If the wind had been blowing out, it might have gotten out of Riverside Park. It's only 310 down the right field line here. It was quite a bit on a line instead of being a pop fly, though, so it may have just bounced off one of the signs out there in right field. And Richie Cleary will step to the plate. The Rams have yet to make a hitting substitution here in this game. That's interesting for the first game of the year. Wind and first pitch to Cleary, swung on and missed, 0-1.
Now, Richie had a pretty solid base hit his first time up as he came up and jumped all over one.
And the pitch to Cleary is swung on and hit hard and deep. Watch it go to left field. It is going to be foul. That ball was hit a mile, but foul. It's 0-2. I think that ball would have left the yard with plenty to spare had Richie straightened that one out.
He was a little bit out in front of that off-speed pitch, jumped all over it, hit it about probably 40 feet foul, but it would have been, any part of this ballpark wouldn't have held it, I don't believe.
Cleary has a big, stocky frame. Look for him to hit lots of balls out in the next few years. The 0-2 pitch. He lays off the low, and it's 1-2. Leapart tried to come back with an off-speed pitch, a curveball that was low, but Cleary wisely laid off.
Richie, quite an athlete. I believe he's a three-sport letterman, basketball, football, and baseball.
In baseball, kind of reminds you of Jose Canseco. The 1-2 pitch swung on and missed. The ball gets away from the catcher, but he tags Richie Cleary for out 3, so I guess he reminds you of Canseco in more ways than one. The open stance, the big frame, and unfortunately every once in a while the strikeout, but you can look for the long ball from him quite a bit in this year as well. Rams go down 1-2-3. Last chance for the Stockbridge Tigers. Your score, Newton High School 2, Stockbridge High School 1. We will be back after this on WGFS AM 1430.
We have reports of a traffic problem in Covington. We're going to go to Kevin Holden in the traffic copter with a report. Kevin.
Well, Todd, there appears to be a big traffic jam in the 7100 block of Highway 278. I think it's around a business area. Yes, I believe that's East Metro Communications. What's going on here?
Kevin, I've just been handed something that should help us figure this out. Thanks. Next time. This says Covington's oldest cellular agent, East Metro Communications, is running a special through March 11th. You can save $50 when you activate a phone with East Metro Communications. Also, Kevin, it says phones are as low as free.
Did you say $50 off activation? Phones as low as free? That's it. I'm going down for a closer look.
Kevin, don't do that. Kevin, no. No, Kevin, no. Kevin.
East Metro Communications, 7115 Highway 278 in Covington, 786-6796. Covington's authorized agent for AirTouch Cellular. Individuals must meet certain credit requirements to be eligible for these plans.
And welcome back to Riverside Park, 7th inning. One more time to Holden, and here to try and get it done, the Holden man himself, Kevin.
Thank you very much, Bill Dolan. And for Stockbridge in the 7th inning, Jeremy Ross, Randy Gaines, and Jamie Terry, 5, 6, and 7 in the order. And Bill, I think you're in mid-season form with the Puns.
Well, I've been warming up a little bit. I had 3 days to prepare for this since we didn't get to do it Tuesday or Wednesday, and I was ready for this. I mean, if we would have done it tonight, I might have gone home and my hair might have turned gray or something, you know.
The announcers may have had more first-game jitters than the players did, but so far things have been all good from Riverside Park. If the Rams can hold them here. Luke Allen is the new pitcher for the Newton Rams. Lance Cawthon goes 6 innings, pitching a terrific game, allowing only 1 run. He allowed 3 hits. Cawthon walked 1 batter. He struck out 7. A terrific outing for the first game of the season, and exactly the opposite of what you might expect. You expected the Rams to be able to hit well and maybe have some trouble with the pitching. It's been exactly the opposite this game. Of course, that was the same story last year. We expected the same and got exactly the opposite from the Newton Rams of '94. The first pitch of the inning is a strike. Luke Allen throws a hard fastball that catches the outside corner, 0-1.
I wonder if this is making a statement that perhaps Luke is going to be the designated closer this year.
Allen's wind, his delivery, catches the outside part. It's 0-2. Allen's fastball appears to be much harder than it was before. And when we saw him last year, if his stuff is as good as, if his curveball is as good as his fastball, you may be right about that statement about being the closer. That pitch, though, over the catcher's head, back to the screen. Catcher did not make an attempt at it. It's 1-2, and Luke Allen might have been feeling the adrenaline there.
That one's even stuck in the backstop there. Brian had to dig it out of the backstop, and I think they put a new ball into play.
Stockbridge's catcher, Jeremy Ross, awaits the 1-2, gets a piece of it and fouls it back. It remains a ball, 2 strikes. Ross, in 2 plate appearances, is 0 for 2. Grounded the ball back to the pitcher on a check swing, and he struck out looking.
His mechanics appear a little more solid this year than last year. Appears to be a little smoother with his delivery and really getting some good movement on that fastball.
Moon gives the sign. Here comes the wind, the 1-2 pitch. Swung on and fouled back. Another good hard fastball. It still is 1-2. And an interesting side note, last Saturday on Sports Source Weekly, we heard from Joe Brassfield, the new head coach here at Newton High School, that Luke's brother Sam Allen may be doing some pitching and maybe turning some heads there. The 1-2 swung on and hit high toward right field. Could be in trouble. Ryan Allen comes over, though, and makes the play. That's the first out. Joseph Poole gave way to Allen at the last second as he had the best angle coming across.
Good play by Ryan coming across, and Joseph Poole with a heads up getting out of the way. That's a tough play for him. He's going straight back on the ball. And Ryan had the angle coming across, and of course Ryan with his speed and good fielding made it look rather easy. Good play by Ryan Allen.
Randy Gaines will be the hitter for Stockbridge as Newton is 2 outs away from securing their first win in their first game of 1995. Of course, you can hear Newton Ram baseball this Saturday as they play against the Griffin Bears from Henry County High School. This is part of the South Metro Tournament, as this game is. That game Saturday will be 3 o'clock. First pitch is high, a ball, no strikes.
We need to have a little talk with the weatherman, too, because it doesn't sound good right now for Saturday.
We certainly hope that one is not postponed. We could be playing these games well into May if it continues like this. It's 1-1 as Allen throws a good hard fastball on the outside corner. His wind is 1-1 delivery, swung on and hit hard and off an electric wire down the first base side, but everyone's okay, 1-2.
Luke throwing with a good amount of velocity. He appears to have some good movement on the ball. I'd like to see him drop in an off-speed pitch or something because these headers would really be off base looking for that fastball.
The 1-2 is a hard fastball right down the first base line. Poole dives after it, makes the play, pops out of the mitt, but he throws to Luke Allen covering for the out. That is out too. Joseph Poole gave us a little bit of a scare there as the ball came out of the mid once, and then he had to feed it, kind of shovel pass it to Luke Allen.
But he did have the presence of mind to stay with it, didn't panic or rush, and made a good play.
And Jamie Terry is the last hope for Stockbridge. He is 0 for 2. Allen's wind in his delivery, swung on and missed, hard heat, it's 0-1. We know this much, Luke Allen can throw a good, hard fastball, and the type of pitcher that throws one dominant pitch really is the type of pitcher you could see as your closer, so we may see Luke Allen close some games out. The 0-1 is high and outside, 1-1.
You know, Kevin, I was looking over the roster, and for the first time in many, many years, there's a name not on the Newton Ram varsity roster.
A last name, that is, and that's Hires. The 0-1 swung on and bounced foul down the first base side. 2 strikes here, and the Newton Rams are 1 strike away from nailing down a victory, but as you mentioned, after the graduation of Matt Hires, of course, we know all about his brother Tim. And, of course, Matt is making a name for himself right now in college baseball, but for the first time in quite a while, there is no Hires on the varsity roster.
Although I believe we have one on the junior varsity.
And Stevens should be at the varsity level very soon. The 1-2 swung on and missed. And the Newton High School Rams have picked up a victory in Game 1 of the 95 season. Luke Allen coming in doing his Dennis Eckersley impression and nailing down the save of the 1-run victory. The Rams win this one 2-1, and we'll be back to wrap it up right after this. Exciting and winning Newton Rams baseball here on WGFS AM 1430.
When you need insurance, here's the first thing you should do. Call your auto owner's agent. They are people just like you.
Are you age 55 or older? We've reduced the cost of auto owners' homeowners insurance 20% in Georgia. Here's why. Our statistics show mature homeowners have fewer and less costly losses. So if you're 55 or older, it's only fair to charge you less for your homeowner's insurance. For mature homeowner savings, see your no-problem auto owner's insurance agent.
Call your auto owner's agent. They are people just like you.
See Steele Jones Insurance Agency, located on Floyd Street, Southeast in Covington. Or call 786-9213.
Auto owners, the no-problem people.
Today through Tuesday at Goodies, everything in the store is on sale, including all your favorite Levi's jeans and shorts, like men's Levi's pre-wash jeans in 505 regular fit and 517 bootcut styles, just $21.99. Save on Levi's orange tab junior shorts too in 950 relaxed fit style, only $23.99. Today through Tuesday at Goodies.
Feels good. Feels true. Goodies feels like you.
Hey, Carl, the greenskeeper here for the Hard Luck Cafe. You know, that's that little red building down by Nationwise. After a hard day hunting varmints on the golf course, I love to stop by and get some hot wings from the Hard Luck Cafe. They've got them all the way from that extra mile up to my favorite, TNT. It's a real Cinderella story how Randy has become king of the wings. So stop by and see Randy or call him at 787-0421. When you do, tell him Carl sent you and maybe he'll give me a free wing or something. Remember, that's 787-0421.
And welcome back to Riverside Park. Good news for all Ram fans. And here to tell you about it with the wrap-up, Kevin Holden.
Thank you very much, Bill Dolan. Good news from Riverside Park. The Rams win this one 2-1 and stay undefeated in the 1995 season. They move to 1-0. Your final totals for the game: the Newton Rams, 2 runs, 3 hits, 2 errors. They left 3 men on base. Lance Cawthon gets the win in 6 innings, facing 22 hitters, giving up 1 unearned run on 3 hits. He walked 1 and struck out 7. Luke Allen comes on for the save. 1 inning pitched, 1 strikeout, facing 3 hitters and setting them down in order to nail down the 2-1 win. On the Stockbridge side, 1 run, 3 hits, 1 errors. They left 3 on base. The losing pitcher, Joey Edmondson, and the Newton Rams now at 1-0 get a chance to look at their next opponent, the Griffin Bears, who they'll take on at Henry County High School at 3 o'clock Saturday. And, of course, you can hear that game live here on WGFS, weather permitting. And, Bill, a good start to the 1995 season. The Bats were not as much alive as we would hoped, but a win nonetheless.
Every win is a good win, particularly that first game when you come out. And the weather conditions were not real good for batting. Fine job by Lance Cawthon. I believe we'll have to give him our WGFS star of the game today for such a fine effort. Once again, he went 6 innings, only gave up 3 hits, 1 unearned run. How many did he strike out? Had 7 strikeouts. Just a real fine effort, exhibiting a good off-speed pitch with a good live fastball. And you wonder how much better he can get as the weather warms up a little bit and maybe get that curveball moving some. We didn't see a good curveball from any pitcher all day, and I think the weather had a lot to do with that. But to be able to throw that good straight change like he was, it really had the batters off stride. Good game for Lance Cawthon.
And a good game for the Newton Rams as well. Cross your fingers and pray a little, and maybe we'll have Joe Brassfield on Sports Source Weekly this coming Saturday morning. If not, though, still be there or listen in, as the Rams will take on the Griffin Bears at 3 o'clock Saturday afternoon. For executive producer Todd Chapman, my color man tonight, Bill Dolan, and a cast of thousands, including that man right there, Kevin Holden from Riverside Park. Your final, the Newton Rams 2, Stockbridge Tigers 1. So long, everybody.
How do you spend your Saturday mornings? Why not join Bill Dolan and Kevin Holden from 9 to 10 for the Saturday morning Super Trivia Spectacular? That's your chance to win prizes and show your knowledge of trivia right here on WGFS AM 1430.
If you're a serious sports fan crying out for serious sports talk, then you need to tune in to WGFS AM 1430 every Saturday between 10 and 12 as we bring you Sports Source Weekly, sports talk for the serious sports fan. Todd Q. Chapman and Kevin Holden will be fielding your phone calls. We'll be discussing a variety of sports on the professional level, collegiate level, as well as local high school sports. That is Sports Source Weekly, heard every Saturday between 10 and 12 with Todd Q. Chapman and Kevin Holden, right here on WGFS AM 1430.
At this time, Covington's radio station